everyone, it's Monique Hinton, and welcome to my channel where I share with you my journey with health, wealth, family, and faith. So I'm back with another video, and if this is your first time viewing, thanks so much for stopping by. But don't just pass through. Go ahead on and hit that subscribe button so that we could be connected and we can be friends, all right? Now that all that good stuff is out of the way, the topic that I'm going to be talking about today has to do with wealth, more specifically credit repair. I've been on a self-credit repair journey, and in my last video I showed you all how I went from a 573 credit score to a 752 on my own. Well, with the helps of Google, of course. I always give a shout out to Google because that's where you can go find all kinds of information. Some of it's scary because some of it you'll be thinking you're dying and all that good stuff, but you're not. So sometimes it can work against us, all right? So after that video, a lot of people ask me questions. Monique, how did you dispute? Monique, how did you have your conversations with the collection agency? What things did you or did you not say? All of that good stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead on and make another video so that I can kind of give more specific details about exactly what it was that I said and how I disputed. And I'm going to be sharing a personal phone call that I had with the collection agency. I'm gonna let y'all in on this because I care so much and I want y'all to succeed in this process. So it's gonna get a little personal today, okay? Now, before we get started, I have to let you know I am in no way, shape, or form a credit repair specialist. I am not a financial anything. I'm not even in a finance world. I am in the healthcare world. I'm a healthcare provider. Now, there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people suggesting that you do certain things. They're giving their opinions. There's a lot of people with a lot of education behind what they're telling you. But me personally, I don't know it all. All I know is that I went on a journey of repairing my credit myself, and I want to share my journey with you. And something had to have worked for me because I started at a 573, ended up at a 752, and I recently checked my scores again, and I am now at a 781. I don't want to hold all that information and keep it to myself because we all need to grow and glow together, all right? So with that saying, let's jump right into this. Now, when I began this journey, I had 6 collections. They were all medical collections. I had 2 late payments. I had a couple of loans, and I had some credit card usage far beyond what is suggested. So the first thing I did was took care of my active debt. Now, my active debt is pretty much the things that I was incurring every month. Like I was getting credit card bills monthly. I was getting my loan bills monthly. So those are active things. That's things that didn't default. That's things that wasn't in collection. So I made sure I handled that. Then I was ready to start working on my collections. Now, when I got to this part, you got to kind of research your collections because you don't want to go into dispute and not even know what you're really disputing. So after I kind of looked at that, then I went on ahead and started the dispute process. Now, when it comes to disputing, there are many different ways people suggest you do this. There's something called 609 and 611 letters, to where they say you write these letters and you send it to the collection agencies. And when you send it off, you're requesting information from them in regards to whatever the collection is that they are saying you owe. Now, this may work in some people's favor if you have medical collections because of our best friend called HIPAA. These people will not really be able to obtain your medical records in order to prove that you owe this particular debt. You know, they won't be able to really dig too much as far as that's concerned. I didn't try this, like I said, so I'm not really familiar with how it works out. I'm more of a, let me log onto this computer and let me submit something. I will backspace, delete, and submit something real quick on you on the internet, okay? So a lot of people will also suggest that you handwrite letters because if you use a lot of these, templates that they have online, then the bureaus have ways of recognizing things that are plagiarized or similar to other documents. So I don't know if they reject it or I don't know how they deal with that, but some people do say handwrite. First of all, I don't know the last time I handwrote anything. So that's just not me. And I'm not about to lick no envelope and go buy no stamps and send it off, all that type of stuff. That's just not me. I'm telling y'all. If that's you, then you go right on ahead. I'm not judging you. You know, you do your thing. You go ahead on and send off your letters if you like to. You can do a little bit more research, find out how that goes. But I didn't. I created online accounts with all of the bureaus. Now there are 3 bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So I made my accounts with each of those beautiful people. And one of the things you have to make sure you do when you're disputing items on your credit report is to dispute with every single bureau. If you dispute with Equifax and Equifax removes it, it will still be on TransUnion and Experian. Their removal does not affect the other 2 bureaus. So you have to dispute across the board so that you can get it removed across the board, and preferably at the same time that you. So if you're disputing today, Experian, make sure you dispute with the other 2 as well today. Okay. And then when you dispute, it's giving a collection agency 30 days to respond to this investigation that the bureau will open up. And if they don't respond in 30 days, hey, it's a big victory day for you. That's going to get removed. If they respond but just don't have the right information, all that good stuff, then then the bureau will remove that too for you. So it can work out for you. Now, my dispute process looked like this. I made an account with each of the credit bureaus. So once I got into there, I went to their dispute centers. They may have a tab that say dispute center. Some of them, you can view your report. They'll show negative items. They may say dispute this item when you're looking at it there. So it's many different ways for you to get to the area to where you can dispute. But once you find that area and you find the item you want to dispute, you dispute it, and it will give you a selection of reasons as to why you are disputing. Now that's why I said in the beginning it was important to do a little research, because you want to try to dispute as closely to a legitimate reason as possible. For myself, I just chose that I was no longer under contract, and the reason being is because, hey, I don't know this collection agency. I didn't sign anything with this collection agency, so I don't feel like I was under contract with them. You know, I was trying, like I said, to be as honest as I could about the whole situation. So I submitted that, and then, like I said, the bureaus opened up the investigation, and they had 30 days to respond. Experian works faster than all of them. They came back with results in like a few days. I think that Equifax takes the longest. They are closer to the 30-day mark of their investigation when they get you the results back. Now, all of my collections came back as accurate and verified as accurate, except one. So through that process, I was able to have at least one removed, which is better than none. That was one less that I had to pay. So I was excited about that. I was glad. That was the collection part. Now, I also had 2 late payments that I disputed as well. It's the same process. You go to each of the bureaus and you go under their dispute centers. You look for the negative item, which was the late payments, and then you click dispute. So once I did that, the reasons came up, and there was a reason that said never late. And in this tab, it allowed me to give a little bit more information. And the reason I was disputing was, like I said, something that really did happen. With that loan company, I tried to set up a payment arrangement 1 month, and then the other month I tried to defer the payment. So I did speak to these people. They were supposed to get back with me. They didn't. So I kind of explained that to all of the bureaus, and that ended up being removed from my credit report. Now that loan account is closed and paid off. So I don't know if they just didn't care and was like, hey, let me just shut this lady up and let me get this stuff off here, because I don't want to deal with that. That could have been their thoughts. I don't know. But I still disputed it, and it was removed. So now that everything is disputed, I was ready to move on to my settling process. So when it comes to settling, before you make any calls to a collection agency, you want to first look at those collections and check the date of those collections. You want to see how old they are, because you do not want to pay on something that is about to reach the 7-year mark that is going to come off anyway. So you want to make sure that none of them are nearing the 7-year mark. to where they will automatically come off, or where you can dispute to have them removed, because after 7 years they can come off. Okay, so once I determined that I was in the 3 to 4 year mark, so I could go ahead on and start working on settling and getting those removed, then I moved forward. Once I did that, then I organized my collections according to who I owed, and then according to the amount that was owed. I think I owed 3 of the collections to one company, and then the rest were 2 different companies. I also organized them in order of least to greatest. So I started working on the lower amounts first, because that was something I felt like I could pay off the fastest. Now let me know if you're still here. I know I'm talking a whole lot, but I'm giving you some good information about what I went through to get my credit scores up. So comment below, let me know that you're still here in the room with me. Now these are some of the things that you want to keep in mind when you're going to call and speak to the collection agency. First and foremost, make sure you never claim your debt, okay? Do not claim this debt. Don't call those people on the phone talking about you know that you owed such and such, and you just trying to figure out how to pay this off because you want to get your house. Please don't tell them that. When you call them, you need to tell them that you found something on your report and you just trying to get information about it. Do not at all, I repeat, do not tell them that you know that debt is yours, because they are recording your phone call and they will use it against you later. Now, another thing you want to keep in mind is to be kind and be courteous. Know that on the other end of that phone call is another human being. And I tell you one thing, communication is key, and there's such a thing as power of persuasion. Your words can persuade people to do a lot of things. And you being kind and your attitude toward great attitude towards people can make them move in a direction that benefits you. They can end up going above and beyond to help assist you when they don't have to. So don't go on the phone call with your attitude blaring and, you like, I'm sick of y'all, trying to call me every day to get this money and blah, 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 Don't do all of that. Just know that your words can take you really far. So be kind, all right? Now, when I say that, I am not saying let them mess over you and let them tell you whatever it is that they want to tell you and let them do whatever it is they want to do. I'm just saying take it down a few notches so that it can end up working out, so it can end up helping you instead of hurting you. Now, another thing you want to keep in mind before you make the phone call is how much you are willing to settle for. That collection agency paid pennies on the dollar for that collection. So why would I then pay full price for something that you got at a really, really low rate? I don't feel like that's fair. I don't feel like that's even reasonable. So, I mean, I know, yes, you owed the first person, but now it's in the hands of somebody else who bought it from that first person. So now I'm worried about what you paid for it. I'm not paying no full price for something that you paid almost nothing for. So before you go and call them, make sure you know a number in mind that you're willing to pay. So like I said, because words are very, very persuasive, and these people are trained in this area of getting this money. So they can persuade you to do some things that you probably wish you wouldn't have done had you thought about it and really had a plan going in. So just make sure you know what you're comfortable with before you call. And another thing you can do is set up a payment plan or a payment arrangement if you have to. I didn't, I just prefer to pay it off, honestly, as quickly as I could. Some people are not able to do that in that manner. And if you have to do an arrangement, you do that, you just have to do what works for you. So, but a thing that you need to keep in mind is that the minute you make any kind of goodwill payments to them, that resets your time clock on that collection being on your report. So if you are nearing the 5-year mark, you paying on that collection reactivates that time clock, and now you're starting over at day 1. So keep that in mind. If you don't plan on paying it off completely, then don't make any payments, okay? A few more things to keep in mind before you call is that when you are calling to settle, make sure you are calling to settle to have it removed. Okay? Make sure it's removed, because if you settle and it ends up being marked as paid, that does not benefit you. It will not increase your scores at all. And it does not make sense to just have it marked as paid, because you want it to also help you while you're trying to decrease the debt that you have. So make sure when you're asking them to settle that you want them to also have it removed from your credit report. And now when we're getting to that part of having it removed, you want to make sure you are asking them also for a deletion letter. This is really, really important. Did y'all hear my finger just crack? I don't know what's going on. That was loud as I don't know what. But make sure you are asking for a deletion letter. That's extremely important. That a deletion letter is your insurance policy, that if all else fails, you had this agreement, and then you can go and dispute this with the bureau to have that collection removed, because this is what y'all agreed on. So make sure you get your deletion letter so that you can have that as a backup in case, they don't do what they agreed to do. And I'm glad that I did that, because what ended up happening to me was my collection was not removed when they said they will remove it. So what I ended up having to do was dispute this collection with all three bureaus, and I had proof to back it up. I submitted that deletion letter to them, and then they removed it like that. So you want to make sure you have a deletion letter. Now, when it comes to this, some people will suggest that you get your deletion letter before you make a payment. And that's a good thing. I agree. You should get it before if you can. Now, when you call in these collection agencies, some of them will play hardball, because they know that if you're at the point you're trying to call them and get this removed, more than likely is because you're trying to get something big, like a house, a car, something like that. Some reason you want to fix up your credit. So they'll feel like, they can play hardball with you and they can really get whatever they want. So they may tell you, well, if you want a deletion letter, you're going to have to pay it in full. Now, you're going to have to determine if there's something that's even worth it for you, because you like I always say, what's in your pockets. I don't. You know how much you're willing to spend, what's comfortable for you. Nobody else does. So a lot of the collection agencies that I work with, they were very nice. They did not do that to me. Now, I did not get my deletion letter prior to making my payment. I got my deletion letter after. One of them told me that they had to wait 48 hours to give me a deletion letter. And I guess because they were trying to make sure I wouldn't cancel my payment and they'll get their money. But me, I just record the conversations. I don't know how that will ever work in a court of law and stuff like that. But if needed, I don't know how that would ever work if I had to dispute something with a credit bureau. But I still record it for my own records. So I did get my deletion letter after making the payment, but I still got them. So it worked out for me, which was really good. So let me know where you are on your journey with your credit. Have you settled at all? Are you thinking of settling? Have you disputed any items? Drop some comments below and let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you the personal phone call that I made to a collection agency to take care of my collection. And all of the things that I told you to do, I put it into play, and you get to kind of hear how that worked out for me through this phone call. So let's jump into that.
Calls are being recorded for quality assurance purposes. How can I assist you today?
Hi, my name is Monique Hinton, and I was calling because I saw something on my credit report, and I was just trying to find out about it.
Okay, ma'am. Let me try to locate your account. What did you see the charge for?
It was $540.
$540?
Yes, and then I think I see one $885.
Thank you. I have to inform you I am a debt collector for collection agency. Any information obtained will be used for that purpose. Okay, hold on, ma'am. I pulled up 3 accounts, ma'am. You see those 3?
Okay, yes, I do see all three of them. I cannot do all three today, so that's why I'm trying to see if what I can work on right now.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to possibly settle the 540 account to have it deleted?
Yes, ma'am. So when we do provide a settlement, we are including deletion from the 3 credit bureaus since we do report to all 3.
Okay.
Now let me provide you what discount that would bring it down to.
Okay. I may be able to do the 540 and 885. It just depends on how much it is, because I can pay it today if.
Okay, I'll tell you both. Let me just write down the info.
Okay.
Okay, so the one for $540.75, that one is eligible to be brought down to $378.
Okay.
The one for $885, that one qualifies for a little bit more of a discount. That one will go ahead and bring the would bring it down to 40% off, and that would be $531 for that one.
Okay, I think I should be able to do. Wait, let me calculate. 531, and you said 378.
378 and 531. Yes.
Okay, I think I can do both of those today. And the other one, I would hit. Yeah, I'll have to call back to work on that one.
No problem. So let me separate this one here.
Okay. And would I be able to get a deletion letter?
If you need a deletion letter, you will have to email our company, and our email will give you the access to view that deletion letter online. Would you like that info?
Oh, yes, please.
Perfect. Oh, on the body of the email, you are going to write, "I will not stop or reverse this payment." And the next sentence is, "I am requesting a deletion letter."
All right. Okay. And that's all?
Repeat it to me real quick, ma'am. Yes.
I will not stop or reverse this payment. I am requesting a deletion letter.
Perfect. So now on the website, in 2 days, you'll be able to access it on the web.
And how long would it take for it to come off of the report, be deleted?
So we are going to be deleting this balance. So we don't credit report until the end of the month. So from the end of the month, it will take, ma'am, 30 to 45 days for it to be completely deleted from your credit history.
Okay. All righty.
Okay, so today would be only a one-time charge of $909. Do you give an authorization for a one-time charge today?
Yes.
Okay, your payment was accepted. Would you like to write down that confirmation number for your record?
Yes. All right. So I can actually send this email now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much. You've been very helpful.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, please call back.
Okay, thank you. And there you have it. That is pretty much how all of my calls went when dealing with all of the collection agencies. They all settled with me. They all gave me deletion letters. They all removed it from my report, except that one I told you I had a problem with, but I was able to get removed once I disputed with the collection agency, so that worked out. So now I am sitting at a 781. I have 0 collections. I have 0 late payments. I don't owe any more loans, and I'm at a really good place right now. So now I'm ready for the next step in my life, which begins with an H and ends with an E, is a place that you sleep. I'm ready to get my house. So that's why I was working so hard. And I want to share that journey with you guys as well. So make sure you subscribe if you have not, so that you can continue on this journey with me and we can journey together. We're journeying in everything, in health and wealth and family and faith, in it all. I want to make sure we are connected. So turn on those notifications to make sure you never miss a video, okay? So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really had an amazing time with you all today. So until next time, see you later.